Hey, Cancer, I don't know what happened there, but we're going to have to make this part two-parter. And that's okay. All right. Sorry, my son just came in and gave me all the mail. Just dropped right on top of everything. I'm so sorry. Anyway. But, anyway. All right, so we're going to see if there's any information or guidance that we can get for you from the numerology guidance cards by Michelle Buchanan. Okay. This is moderation. Number 14. Moderation. Let's see what moderation is. Moderation is 1 and 4 is 5. 1 and 4 is 5. And 5 is the number of Oshun. She is the Orisha that controls love, passionate love, and sweet waters and perfumes and baths, that kind of stuff. And she, without her, there'd be no mankind. She wasn't there. Things weren't going right till she showed up and they started treating her correctly. Because when they treated her bad, she retreated and they couldn't do nothing without her. Moderation. This card indicates a need to exercise restraint and self-control in every area of your life. Perhaps you're overeating, over-drinking, smoking, over-medicating, as well as taking drugs or overspending, exercising excessively, consuming too much sugar or coffee, gambling, or otherwise overindulging or engaging in obsessive or aggressive behavior. If so, this card serves as a gentle reminder that behaviors such as these can delay the manifestation of your dreams. This card can indicate a need to balance your desire for freedom and adventure with your responsibilities, because by honoring your commitments, you will prevent the building up of karmic debt. Oh, absolutely. By choosing to live as your higher self rather than giving in to your lower tendencies, you align with Source and the intentions of your soul. Everybody has a shadow side that needs to be acknowledged and embraced and loved. But when you learn to rise above it, you can make your dreams come true. Okay. So maybe you're making a decision that is in your higher good rather than in your emotional, spiritual good. You can still make your dreams come true. It's just different dreams. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust and harmonize with the natural rhythms and cycles of your life. So, you know, each few, people say 7 years, some people say maybe 17 years, you change. There's like a drastic change in your outlook on things, and it's like a new chapter opens up. If you've recently retired, or you're newly single, or just coming back from the military, something like that, or been incarcerated for a long time, this is another chapter. All right. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust and harmonize with the natural rhythms and cycles of your life. Cycles that are encouraging you to exercise temperance and moderation. Have the courage to seek professional or divine help if needed. You don't have to go it alone. You can call upon your heavenly helpers for inner courage and strength. So, I guess this is asking for you to believe and to, whatever choice you make, if this is a choice that you make, they still want you to know that your ancestors are going to help you and they're going to support you. So please don't lose touch with that lesson that you learned, which was maybe the only lesson that you needed to learn. Maybe that's all this was, for you to learn that you have a right to believe what you believe and to worship however way you want to worship, whenever you feel you want to worship, and that there are options out there, and that those options are not scary, and that you have access to those options yourself because they're in you. And until you come to grips with that, you're going to still keep getting these challenges. It's not over. The choices and challenges are not over. There's going to be different choices and challenges. You have to be tested. You have to be tested. And so if you want to go things a different route, which you have a right to, there's a menu that goes along with that choice. When you take column B, there's a sub menu. In case nobody told you, when you click on that, there's something else that falls, and you need to read all the underlying. But they don't. You click, and sometimes you don't bother to look at the subs. You don't think ahead to what this could actually end up being, and so you didn't read the small print on this new contract. Or you didn't read the script in Act 3. But you wanted to roll, right? You didn't know you were auditioning? Oh, okay. Well, they changed your role. You're no longer the lead. Oh! Okay. Oh. Aiden didn't like my joke? Okay. So, this is... No. All right. See, I told you they didn't like it. I didn't even see it. And okay. This is an opportunity. You need to compromise. That's what they're saying. See, they didn't like my joke when I said that you're no longer the leader. Of course you're the leader. Of course this is about you, right? This is opportunity, and this is compromise. So this is saying you have an opportunity to compromise. Ooh, the divine is going to give you a deal. See how they love you? See how they love you. All right, so let's see what opportunity says. This is beautiful. Opportunity. Oh my goodness. Is that beautiful? Opportunity. Hope y'all can see how pretty this is. Arms upstretched, gold and white, platinum and gold, and gorgeous. And just joy. Opportunity for happiness, for joy. Let's see what opportunity says here. Positive growth and expansion is on the horizon for you. The opportunity may bring with it an inspiration and insight, or it could be a chance that you've been waiting for to take action on ideas you already have. So you can be creative, Cancer. So maybe some of those ideas, some of those thoughts, maybe that is the way to make your money, make you have enough money of your own that you don't have to rely on anything about any other situation, that you can make the kind of money that you can be proud of on top of what you've already done. All right? From the creativity that's inside of you. Those stories, those poems, those jokes, whatever it is that you have, you got to find a vehicle for it and put it to some use so that you can start building your own foundation that no one can touch but you. You may be seeking to manifest a chance to create changes in your career, to buy or sell a home, or to bring romance into your life. Whatever your desire is, your angels are about to open the door of possibilities for you. Step right through. So opportunities are opening up to you. What you want is there. The opportunity for you to get what you want is there. Okay? And you have it within you. Okay? You have it within you. You have the tools. You have the tools, you're just not using them. You choose not to. You want to start doing the work. But we are moving on from that, right? Because we see that there's an opportunity for a compromise. Let's see what compromise says here. Compromise has their hands open with two lights in it, right? So that's kind of like balance, right? Like patience. I can't answer that. Okay, that's like balance. I like this the sign for Sagittarius, the tarot for Sagittarius. Temperance. Compromise is temperance. So this could involve someone who is a fire sign also. Of course, look at all that brightness. Okay, it could be a Sagittarius. Or maybe someone who's a Sagittarius is going to help you reach your compromise. In order to create a happy outcome for the situation, you will need to find it necessary to compromise. Allow yourself some time to become clear about what is truly important to you. Also take note of matters where you would be open to changing your position. Also take note of matters where you would be open to changing your position. Work towards an agreement where everyone wins. Be open to cooperation that would allow you to get what you need while also assisting others in fulfilling their desires. Be objective about finding a balance between respecting everyone else's viewpoints and still being true to your own. So when you compromise, they're not telling you to give up your principles. They're just saying that, you know, two people can be right. There could be a way to meet in the middle and come to some sort of compromise so that everybody doesn't lose. And maybe if you talk about it and start brooding on it by yourself, alone, right? Or over-exercising, drinking, drugging, working, extra, anything not to be involved in what's going on at the most important places in your life. And it's hard when your home and your heart are in two different places. And that's because the heart had to leave because it got hurt at the home. So there's something at the home that needs to be fixed in order for the heart to return. You could physically return anywhere, but if your heart's not there, what difference does it make? And the problem is that you know your heart has never been there. And you don't know how to say that. Because that would make you the liar that they say you are. So you got to not say that. So your defense would confirm the worst. Even though you thought that you were doing the right thing, you find it has led to more problems. And less respect. Yes. Mm. The respect. The respect. You have to regain your respect. Yeah. It's not about demanding respect. It's about allowing those around you to understand who you are. To speak up and say who you are and how you feel, what you don't like, and what you're not going to put up with anymore. It's time to stand up and be you. Whew. Okay, thank you. Anyhow, the Llewellyn Van Zandt card. Until Today by Llewellyn Van Zandt. Only my inner authority can give me outer authority. You have to know who you are inside in order for you to be able to get the respect that you deserve and that you've earned. You know? It's not like it was when we were little, you know? You just respected somebody because they were your elder. And that's how it should be. But in your case, there's no question. There's no case to be made. There's no case to be made, and you've done what you're supposed to do. You have stepped up to the plate over and over and over and over, day in and day out for years and 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 years, okay? You don't owe anybody anything. Yes, you brought your children into the world. They didn't ask to be here, but guess what? They did. This is their opportunity to fix up their mess, and they chose you to be their parent. At this time, in this place, they are spiritual beings just like you are, having a human experience just like you are. There's no guilt. There was no abuse. Stop. Stop falling for the nonsense. You have to love yourself. You have to stand up for who you are and what you are. You are Horus. Come on. Come on. You are one of the gods. You're one of the gods. Act like it. How come you're going to stand up to the divine and you don't want to stand up to these people that you give birth to? What? Anyway, Cancer. We're going to get one card for you. I love you guys. We're going to get a card from Postcards for the Spirit. Look, I have good friends who are Cancers. I even have a good friend who's an Aries, and I just told you how much they torture me. But she's a doll. You know, it just depends. It just depends on which end of the Aries they're on. The ones on the earlier end, they seem to bristle me a little. But again, you know, you can see in your friends' tendencies. You know who got it. You know who got it. But my girl she's a cusp of what is that? The Aries, Taurus? No, it's not. Yes, it is. Aquarius, Pisces, Taurus, Aries. I'm missing somebody. I moved the calendar on myself. Anyway, it's not important. She's a love. She's a love. And she's from Africa. She was born in Liberia. And we have been friends forever. Forever. Even my grandfather knew about her. He said, "How is Stephanie?" And I learned how to cook some dishes from her. Oh, man. Oh, man. Now, those are some recipes. Excellent. Excellent. And her mom actually works, I think, she has a display at the American History, the Black American History Museum in D.C. that just opened last year. And she has some products that she's selling in the gift shop. Mrs. Dunbar. I don't remember the name of the products, but I'm pretty sure that you'd be whatever. Just if you go there, support the people who work in the gift shop, support those artists and those craftspeople who make those souvenirs and things and make them available for you to purchase. You know, the time and thought that goes into it. All right. These are people who love the culture. These are people who know their culture. Okay. And they have lived through wars right in their front line, you know, right there. In Africa. As we know the history of Liberia, Liberia is a country that was created by the United States to repatriate, to take any of their kidnapped hostages and their offspring that wanted to go back to Africa. They would take them and they created a country for them called Liberia, meaning liberty, right? So they went by ship. Many people did. A lot of them that went had the opportunity to be able to go there. They were the slaves that lived in the D.C. area because their masters were like, you know, had money. They were part of the government at that time. And so when they decided that they were going to, you know, create this space, these were the slaves that really got first dibs on getting back. But it was already there. It was not like they shipped over, you know, grass and sand and trees and stuff. People lived there already. So just like they kidnapped us and took us and brought us here, now they're going to just take over a section of a country and say, this is ours. Create a country out of nothing and say, okay, this is where our country is, you know. What about the people that you just displaced? What are they supposed to do? And it wasn't just Americans who went. It wasn't only those people from America. They also had boats that went from Barbados and Jamaica. That doesn't mean that people like from other countries like St. Kitts and them, they all got on. Whoever could get on it. They asked for volunteers because a lot of people didn't want to go. Not everybody wanted to go, so they had to get. That's when they opened it up to people from Barbados and Jamaica to go too. And they populated this area. The problem is there were already people living there, and most of the people who came, being that they were living in D.C. and are very close to their masters, a lot of them were mulatto, very light skinned, so they didn't look like the Africans who'd been in Africa all their life living in this area. And as the United States does, everywhere it goes, perpetuating racism, they set up a system that the indigenous people were subservient to the Liberians, the people that came from the United States. Because the United States said that we created this, these people are the citizens. And they will run the government. And they will tell the indigenous people what to do, and they won't have no problem with them because this is our country. Anyway. She and her husband and her family, they go back and forth. They work very hard. They worked very hard with the woman who was the first female president, Johnson Sirleaf, I think that's her last name. They helped her. They worked with her. And then right when they had that epidemic a couple of years ago, Ebola, whatever it was, I don't remember, but it was killing people. Her husband came back to live in the United States, and he was fine. He was not infected and that kind of stuff. But still, you know, they knew people who lost people. They lost people themselves, you know. They've been through all of it. Because that created a conflict. There was war for many years in Liberia between those factions. You know, upheavals and chaos and government coups and all this other stuff, jailing people, you know. Mrs. Johnson Sirleaf had been jailed, much like Mandela. Not as long. But anyway, it's part of the struggle. Anyway, the card that you got from the Postcards from Spirit. Postcards from Spirit are by Colette Baron Reed, if I didn't say so already. And these are individual messages from Spirit. Okay, and regardless of who you address, they're going to respond in the collective. All right, so if you're calling to your mother, everybody's going to answer. They're going to refer to themselves as us, we, our. Okay, so this card that you got says, you are magic. Dearest you, there are times when loss is a part of life. Sometimes a loss is a welcome, like when you leave a situation not in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes a loss is sudden and painful, like when a loved one crosses over to our dimension. Regardless of the nature of the loss and your control over it, your experience is asking you to be acknowledged. It's asking to be acknowledged. Tears are necessary, as is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in destructive ways. We don't want that for you. Instead, let your heart break open wide. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was, the lesson learned, and know that you are let go of what was past. Ever more of you remains. See the beauty that was, the lessons learned, and know that as you let go of what has passed, even more of you remains. It gets better, we promise. Your heart expands with more compassion for the world than ever before. Love heals all. We are loving you, sending you love always and forever. Okay, so I'm going to hold it here so you can screenshot it later. Or you could read it for yourself, maybe. Hopefully. Right? Beautiful. Sagittarius got that too in their reading. That same card came out, I believe. That's weird. And I did say something. Sagittarius was involved in this somehow. Because that angel... I mean, I had the scene all choked up, right? That angel that said that you were compromised reminded me of Sagittarius. And the Chariot is Sagittarius and Cancer. Right, so this was compromise and opportunity. If you're doing any drinking or any smoking, anything like that, things that you know are not going to be even exercising, as they said, sometimes you do too much. All right? Because you're trying to eat up the time in the day. There's 24 hours in a day. And you want to plan out each hour so that you spend the least amount of time in your life in the place that you don't want to leave. What sense does that make? None. Anyway, everything in moderation. Everything. Drinking, eating, smoking, exercising, talking. We are loving you and sending you love always and forever. So, Cancer, that's your reading. Thank you so much for your patience. I used up an hour and a half of your life, but I hope that somebody out there benefits from these messages Okay, I love you guys, and I'll be coming back with your love bites, probably sometime starting next week. And you're welcome. And any other material that I may come across, I still have some unboxings, and there may be new cards that I might bring into the mix. I don't know. See how this goes. But this is going, even though this was a long reading for you, and everybody was kind of long, but this is a two-parter. That's the first since I've got this computer like this. Okay, so thank you so very much. And I'll be uploading this now, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. Okay, don't forget to like, to share, subscribe. If you have any questions, you want a personal reading, send me an email, pbtarot7@gmail.com. And readings, we do readings for a donation of $25. All right, and you get a video just like this of your own. You also can do messenger readings, but we're unable to tape them at this time, so you'll have no record of those readings. And those readings are $45, and that's for an hour, and we'll interact for real. You'll be on that side, I'll be on this side, but you won't have a record of it, so you would have to take notes yourself. Okay, and I usually do take notes, but you know, that's about what I see. It's, you know, there's times when you go back and you see things differently and things like that. So even though I guess I'm cutting my own throat, but to me, I think it's valuable to have this for your later reference. Okay, so that's just me. All right, but I appreciate so much you allowing me into your lives, and we'll continue to work together as we go on this journey together. And Cancer, I hope that you embrace the God, the goddesses, gods and goddesses that you are, okay? And that you demand respect that you deserve as well as earned, okay? And be mindful of those things that were brought out in the reading, okay? Anyway, I thank you so much, and I'll speak to you later, okay? As always, I love you, always and forever, okay? Peace.